Hi, this is Ned Siegfried from Siegfried and Jensen. As proud sponsors of BeliefCast, we hope you are inspired by Todd's weekly podcasts, which contain so many courageous stories of recovery and personal growth. Remember, it's not what happened in the past that matters, it's what happens in the future. We invite you all to work hard and be optimistic about your future. Enjoy today's podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast. Thank you for tuning in once again. I can't thank you enough for believing in me and supporting me in this great cause. It means the world to me, and I'm so thankful for all the amazing guests that keep coming on my show. It's amazing the stories that I hear, and it just proves to me the power of the human spirit. We can overcome so many things, and because of those challenges, we end up doing great things for other people. So today's going to be no different. Today we are joined by the co-founder of Live Your Dream Foundation, Katie Bunnell.
Yeah, it's so good to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
Katie,
it's my first podcast.
First podcast. Katie's been on TV all over the place, but I was shocked to hear this was her first podcast. So I feel very fortunate. And guys, we're in for a treat. So how lucky are we to have you?
I'm so excited to be here.
That is so cool. Like I just said, you're the co-founder of Live Your Dream Foundation. It was founded back in 2010. Mm-hmm. And because of an event that you went through, which we'll get into in a minute, you're a wife, a mom, a community champion, philanthropist, president and co-founder, like we said, of the Live Your Dream Foundation. You support single mother families.
Absolutely.
You have a lot of passion for that.
Yep.
And it's amazing, again, what you've been through and how that leads to you doing such great things for these single moms. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait for our audience to hear this. But I first would like to start out, just maybe tell us a little bit about your background, a little bit about you, and maybe where you grew up. Let's start there.
Yeah, so I grew up in Utah County in Orem. And actually, I was born in Provo. And then when I was about 8 years old, we moved to Orem.
Yeah, like what is that, 10 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Just over the street?
Yep, over the street.
Okay.
So yeah, it was when I was 8 years old, we moved there and had a good childhood, lived in a cul-de-sac and in a nice area, went to Mountain View High School.
Okay, yeah. I'm familiar with
I'm a
Mountain
Bruin.
View. A Bruin, okay,
Yep.
Right on.
Went to Orem Junior High as a teenager, just starting out in those hard, awkward years.
Yeah.
So when I was in junior high, so I was always really shy as a kid, like super shy. Like
Really?
my mom would say, "Hey, Kate, go borrow eggs from the neighbor," and I was like terrified to do that. And so it's something that I've had to really work towards of coming out of myself and being a little bit more outgoing.
Yeah, because people who the way I view you now is like that's the last thing I think you would be.
People say that all
shy
the time.
or anything like that, So, well, let's talk a little bit about some of maybe those challenges as a child growing up. I mean, what were some of the things that maybe you faced and that you had to learn to overcome as a kid?
For sure. So when I was in junior high, I was just trying to fit in, as like a seventh grader, and during that time, there was a lot of dieting going on and a lot of this is good, this is bad. Yeah. Kind of like it is now, but it was kind of starting out that way for me as recognizing that in my life. Mm-hmm. And in eighth and ninth grade, I really, really struggled with what can I eat, what can I not? And I developed an eating disorder.
Okay.
So that was a real struggle for me, but nobody knew about it. I kept it really secret.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. My friends, some of my friends knew about it. They didn't know what to do, how to handle that kind of scenario.
Was it talked a lot about among your friends? Meaning, because I know with girls, a lot of times, there's this pressure to maybe look a certain way or,
of course.
That kind of thing. Did you guys even talk about that kind of things as girls, or did you also keep it from this was your issue and that you
I was really embarrassed by it, right? And then it kind of brought me into a little bit of a depression as a kid, and I was kind of that shy kid, just trying trying to fit in. And so any kind of vulnerability would have been really, not something that I would have done.
Right.
So I kind of went under the radar, but I played sports as a kid. I loved playing
Okay.
softball and basketball.
Really? All right on.
And so that was an outlet for me
Hmm.
to be able to play sports. And so when I was in 9th grade, I was moving into Mountain View, the new school.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a new start for me. So it was like, okay, I can get rid of this eating disorder stuff. Let's, trying to kind of
Yeah.
fix myself.
Yeah.
And then I started high school and I made sports teams and enjoyed that. But the eating disorder stuff was always kind of in the background.
Yeah. Right.
It was something that I was kind of fighting. And it was really literally more about food being bad. So, all the different foods, I was literally terrified to even try because it was like bread, yogurt, potato, everything that like was in our home, it was like I couldn't eat.
Wow.
And so it wasn't as much of how I looked, but how I couldn't eat.
Yeah.
Because
did
it
your
was
family notice at this point? Were they noticing like, hey, she's not eating? Or, I mean, did they see maybe a change in your appearance or anything like that?
That's where it was kind of like a different world. Like at home, I was kind of doing whatever I needed to do, but it was outside of my home.
Oh, okay.
That the eating disorder was more coming up.
Gotcha.
And so my friends started seeing it in high school, and they were in a position that they didn't know what to say. They didn't know what to do. They're in the same boat as teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until the summer that I graduated that I met my neighbor was the guy that I married.
Oh, really?
So on my girls' senior trip after high school, my brother invited the neighbor boy on that trip.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. And I don't know if you've ever been to have you ever been to Lake Powell?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
you're like stuck. Like,
oh, yeah, you're
right?
there.
And so that's when now that's when my eating disorder is kind of coming out, right?
Oh, wow.
Because, and it's more.
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hide. So more
Yeah.
people are seeing what's going on because it's like a 24-hour.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone's kind of seeing it. And that was for me where it kind of hit me of, okay, this is not good.
Yeah.
And my dad and different people were recognizing that. I mean, they recognized it here and there, but this was kind of like, I feel like the time that I knew that I needed to really do something, that whatever I was doing wasn't working.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Lake Powell, you're on a houseboat, this confined area.
Yep.
And everyone sees everything you're doing, right?
Yep. Everything
Pretty
that's
much.
going on. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
So it wasn't until we got back from that trip that I met people at the Center for Change down in Utah County.
Oh, yeah.
And
great place.
Yeah, it was a really good experience. The first person that I met there, they kind of just scared me into thinking I needed help. And for me, it wasn't like that didn't work for me. And so I met a different therapist, which I always say shop around, find somebody that you can connect with, whether it's a therapist or life coach or somebody that's going to help you. And we really connected, and I was able to get help just over a year being an outpatient.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that was
Right
really good. But going back to the neighbor boy at the Lake Powell, I think we need to touch on that.
Yes, we're going to get there. I got a couple quick questions. So looking back now, and we have a lot of women that listen to this podcast, a lot of, even younger girls that listen to this.
Yep.
They're hearing your story a little bit there, and I think a lot of them can relate, and not just women, men as well.
Yep.
But, what were some of the lessons you learned now, looking back now through just that part of your life of going through that? What were maybe some of the lessons that stand out to you or maybe some advice that, you wish you would have listened to or that you could have maybe helped with? For
sure. I mean, I think, me and my friends have talked about that because we all feel really bad that, they all feel really bad that they weren't able to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't know. I don't know what people could have done where I was a youth, right? Like I was my own person at the time of, this is what I was going to do. But what I would have wished that I could have told myself is that, you are good just the way you are, right? That that you're loved, that you're cared for, that there's so many people out there that love you, and I don't think that I realized that. I don't think that I felt that way in my life. For some reason, I just thought of everything that I wasn't good at. I thought of everything that I was falling short. And I was really hard on myself. And I wish that that I could have had that confidence back then.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty common for kids your age.
Absolutely.
We don't even know what we're doing half the time, right?
Exactly.
And I know it's easy to look back, but I love what you said. If you could go back and talk to yourself, I would say, you're good enough. You're loved.
Yep.
You're lovable.
Exactly.
Those kind of things. And I can relate with that too, because I had some similar things that I struggled with when I was a kid, just with believing I wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. And I think most people listening to this can probably relate to that.
Absolutely. And as a parent, it's really taught me to tell my kids that they're worthy and that they're good enough and that I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
All the time. Days don't go by without them knowing that, and I tell them, if I'm gone today, what do you remember about your mom? And it's so important for me for them to know those things about themselves, because I believe that that's what we can do for our kids when they're in positions where, there's not like this perfect thing I think that we can say and do, but as long as that they feel that they're loved and that you're proud of them, I think that that's one of the greatest gifts we can give our kids.
I love that. Beautiful. Beautifully said. Well, then, you marry the neighbor boy.
Yeah, the neighbor boy. The cute neighbor boy.
The cute neighbor boy.
Saved by the Bell?
Yeah.
Zach Morris?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my Zach Morris.
Saved by the Bell. That brings back memories.
Right?
There might be a lot of people listening to this that I've never even heard of that, but it was one of those little sitcoms that we used to watch as kids and stuff. So you get married. You've got you're having kids, right, at this point, or no?
So we got married. So we basically met at Lake Powell, and that kind of started our dating thing. He was older than me, 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
I knew his family really well, babysat for his mom, knew his mom really well. And we got married after a year of dating and just had the best time. But he was a pivotal help for me with my eating disorder. He was, when we went on our first date, I literally told him, I said, I kind of shared, I said,
really?
Cause he was on the Lake Powell trip too. And I just said, hey, I've got this eating disorder that I'm working on. And he was the guy that would say, okay, today we're going to try burritos.
Yeah.
We're going to try,
so he's supporting you.
Yeah. The different foods. And he really, really helped me. And
that's awesome.
And so, I always look back and he is somebody that was, the love of my life. And he also helped me in more ways that he probably, that he never knew.
Never really realized how much you needed that.
Yeah, how much I
needed that so much.
And somebody that I could be open and honest to, and he loved me.
Yeah.
He didn't. He didn't think of me different for where I was at.
Yeah. Well, you're making me emotional. You're getting emotional. And this is maybe not the funnest thing to talk about, but something happened in 2005.
Yep.
So why don't you share with our listeners what happened in 2005
Absolutely.
and let us know.
Yeah. So, me and Byron, we were, best friends. We played co-ed softball. We just had so much fun. We went to Cancun. We were young, married people that had done quite a bit in our young lives. And he struggled with migraine headaches as a kid. They came on when he was about 9 years old, where his mom was saying that he was missing school and that they were a problem. So when we were married, we had a lot of fun, but he struggled with these migraine headaches. And so we did all sorts of things back then to try and get help. Just anything you can think of, we tried. I remember just being in tears with the doctor, just saying, is there anything else that we can do? So as far as his mom and everyone, they did everything, and then we together as a couple did everything. And one morning I went to go wake him up for a meeting, and he didn't wake up.
Wow.
We had moved next door to his parents. which was a huge blessing, hindsight.
Yeah.
But I called his mom and said, I can't get him up. His, his mom and dad came over. His dad, had me help him do CPR. I did breaths, he did compressions, and I'd never done CPR before.
Sure,
right.
yeah,
And so, he just didn't wake up. I remember me and his mom were praying and praying and praying, as the paramedics came to try and help him. And, they came and told us he passed away. This was very unexpected. We just had our 3-month-old baby daughter. So I was a new mom.
Yeah.
And, this was just completely devastating. I'd quit my job. I'd gone to hair school.
Yeah.
And, I'd quit my hair job to stay at home. That was like, I had done that, and I was so excited to be able to spend and be a stay-at-home mom with my daughter.
Right.
So, I mean, after I heard the news that he passed out, or that he had passed away, I passed out. It was just like
too much to hear.
So yeah, that's what happened that day, but just completely devastating, he had migraine headaches, but it wasn't like we thought he could die.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
It's just something he's dealing with, but never went there. Yeah.
Yep. And they found out that he was having mini strokes. And so that's what happened in his sleep. He just passed away.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, just completely a pivot.
Yeah, big pivot.
Big pivot.
And again, my heart goes out to you. And I know, this story is still going, and it's a great story, meaning you're doing so good. But at the time, I can't even imagine what that was like. I just...
Yeah, I was 23 years old. He was 27.
Yeah, so young as
Super
well.
young.
Both young. Oh my goodness. So this happens, and obviously, like you said, you were devastated, which is understandable. Talk about just a little bit about how did you get through that? Like, what were the things that stood out to you that helped you get through that? And if it was faith in something, if it was, tell us how you got through this difficult time.
Absolutely. So, huge support for my in-laws.
Okay.
I will forever be grateful for them. I feel like they were there for me in more ways than they will ever know. And then having my daughter, I always tell her she's my angel.
Yeah, right.
Because I couldn't give up, right? I had to keep on. I had to figure it out, right? I was so depressed. I was in such a dark hole. I didn't know what I was going to do. We ended up having to sell my home because we'd moved into our dream home next to my in-laws. Wow. And I moved. We found a home down the street that I was able to move in, that my dad helped me get into. Okay. So
a lot of changes.
Just a lot of changes. And I just remember you'd have so many people come up and say, "Oh my gosh, you're doing so good. We're just so, we've been so worried. We can see that you're doing so good." And I became I became really, really good at shelving my feelings. Yeah. Right. And I hated it when people said I was doing so good, because I knew I wasn't doing good.
Yeah. And it's almost like if you only knew
exactly
what's really going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember there was something about like going through that experience that I felt like I was going to die. Wow. Like I literally felt like I couldn't live. And not that I was suicidal. Right. But I got all of my belongings in order. And I wrote what was going to happen with my daughter. Really? Yeah. Just because I don't know what it was, but I was like, how could I live this way? Yeah. Right. And I just remember, sounds really morbid, but it was like, a car's going to hit me. We were doing a roof job. Like, I'm going to fall off the roof. For some reason, I didn't believe that life would go on.
It's almost what I'm hearing too, because I see this a lot with my clients. It's almost like a trauma response of, this is so painful. Your mind goes to, well, yeah, getting hit by a car or falling off this roof would actually may even be a relief. Yeah. Not that you were suicidal, like
No,
you
not
said,
at all, yeah.
but that makes a lot of sense because you were hurting so bad.
So bad.
We don't want to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I want this to go away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't know how to be social with people, right? Because how do you laugh? How do you smile?
Yeah.
You know? But that's the core of me is humor. And my husband that had passed away, and we just had so much fun and laughter, right?
Yeah.
And so it was just a different world now to be in of just completely broken.
Yeah. How can I be me? And laugh and smile.
Yep. So I was reading over a journal entry, and I literally feel like I lost like a huge piece of me.
For sure.
You know, and it was like, I'm never going to get that back.
Wow. So, and I know we're jumping way ahead here when I ask this question, but how did you finally kind of like break through, so to speak, of, you know what, I think I'm going to be okay. I think I want to get out now, and I don't know, was there something that happened, or was it just this gradual thing over time?
I would say that time was a huge thing.
Okay.
But, so during that time, I had moved, like I said, down the street, to a new home, and there was my brother-in-law's friend. He was always helping us out, my in-laws and me. And he, when I lived next to my in-laws, we noticed that somebody was shoveling the walk for us in the winters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we were trying to find footprints, like, who is this?
Who's doing it?
Who's
Yeah.
this like secret, this person that's like serving us, right?
Yeah.
Well, we found out who it was, and it was my brother-in-law's friend, and he was really just served all of us and helped us all. And
awesome.
me and him became really, really good friends.
Yeah.
I didn't pay. I said to my brother-in-law's friends, I said, if you help me move, I'll give you some haircuts for free, right?
Right.
And then that's how I got to know my now husband.
Really?
Yep, that's the guy.
Cutting hair.
Yep, cutting hair. So I never dated.
Really?
I went to different social groups and stuff, but I never dated. It was this guy that was hanging around that I was trying to get to set him up with other girls, and we became really good friends. And I didn't want to ever get married. I never wanted to date.
Yeah.
But I think it was him that got me a little bit out of my funk. That and school.
Okay.
So I trained for a marathon, me and my father-in-law, after my husband passed away the following fall. So we were training for a marathon, so that was really helpful.
Sure.
We would just talk and get all of our feelings out and run. And then this friendship that I had with this guy. And then also I started school. And so all those distractions. But the problem for me is I stayed so busy so I didn't have to think.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Avoid the thinking, which leads to feeling.
Yep.
Yeah. So the busier you are, the less you thought about it, for sure.
So I don't know that I had too much feeling.
Yeah.
Because I was just,
right.
Staying so busy. But my husband, he went to UVU down south, and he UVU sent me a letter after he died and said that we wanted to give me a year's worth of free therapy.
Wow.
So I went to UVU and got some therapy during that time as well.
That's
so that
incredible.
was super awesome.
Shout out to UVU.
Shout out to UVU.
That's such a great school, and that makes them even more great. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know they did things like that.
Yeah, and that's where
cool.
where I started school as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Yeah, I went to UVU as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was. Yeah, that's another story. I was on probation for a while, and anyway, I'm doing good now. But anyway, so this happens, and then this guy, you realize that maybe this is a guy I could be with.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he just kind of fell into my lap.
Yeah.
He was just a really good guy, and like I said, I tried to even set him up with my sister, because I knew he was a really good guy, right? But I never thought about me
with you, yeah.
So,
so
after like a while of hanging out, for my birthday, he gave me this chest, and it had my daughter Callie's name inscripted on it. He built it, And if you open it up, there was a picture of my husband and then a picture of Christ. And it said, I never said it would be easy. I only said it would be worth it.
I know that quote. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he had a 4-wheeler, which my husband loved. And he had that inscripted on this chest. And I thought, I can't let this guy go. This guy is like amazing.
Amazing.
You know, and he's been there for me. And so I ended up calling my mother-in-law. I went down to my basement, and I don't know why, but I was in like a closet. And I said, I don't know what to do. This guy on paper is perfect. Yeah. But my heart's not there yet.
Yeah.
And she had an experience that she felt like he was the one as well. And so so it was her that really helped me to be able to move forward in that way. Because I don't know if I would have been stuck, you know, forever.
And good for her too, because she could easily have been like, well, I don't want you to be with anyone else.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
But obviously she's looking at what was best for you.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
So that was really cool. I always, my first husband's family means like a lot to me.
I can tell.
A lot of pivotal things that they've done for me in my life that have shaped me to where I am now.
Well, shout out to them for sure.
For sure.
I can tell you get emotional when you talk about them. Yep. I think it's incredible that there's people out there like that.
Exactly.
Who are not selfish and they want what's best for you.
Exactly.
I think that's amazing. We need more of that in this world.
Right.
We truly do.
I believe it.
Wow. So you end up marrying this guy.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. We got married.
And you're still married to this guy.
Yep.
And what's his name, by the way?
His name's Devin.
So we can, Devin, shout out to Devin.
Shout out to Devin.
Yeah, you're awesome too.
Yep.
And now you have 4 kids, right?
Now I have 4 kids. Yep. Yeah. So my daughter that my husband passed away with is 17.
Is 17 now.
Senior in high school.
Wow.
I'm old.
You don't
look old. I turned 40
old.
this year.
You do?
Yeah.
You look like you're 25. Seriously. Wow. 17. And then you got 3 younger ones.
3 younger ones.
Obviously.
17, 12, 5, and 4.
Very cool.
Yeah, we had a hard time having kids, so there's 2 different families going on.
Yeah, but that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you know, thank you for sharing that. I know that's not the easiest thing to talk about, even though things are good for you.
For sure.
You know, but it's still a hard thing to talk about. But this led to something pretty amazing. Yeah. Right? And we mentioned that at the very beginning, Live Your Dream Foundation.
Yep.
Talk about this, because I know this is your passion. This is your baby. This is your, this is what gets you out of bed in the morning, so to speak, right? So Tell us about this.
So, like I said, I went to college. I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to do it. For some reason, I had told myself that I wasn't smart enough, right. You know, that it wasn't something that I was going to do. And my mother-in-law was like, yeah, I'll go with you. She's like, let's just try a few classes. Yeah. So I took a few classes and I was like, oh my gosh, I can totally do this. Wow. So I got my degree, my bachelor's degree in 2.5 years. I just went every semester taking 18 plus credits. Luckily, when I was able to move into the home that I was in, we put a hair salon in the basement. So I was able to do hair while I went to school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My dad is amazing. And he helped me get into this home. He was just kind of like, you know, taking care of me in that way. Wow, and amazing. So I had a lot of support during that time. Yeah. So I was able to get my degree really quick, but I was like, how do people do this that don't have support? Like, I had great support from family members and different people in my life. And I only had 1 kid, you know? Yeah. And so my family came to me after my experience, and they said, what about putting together a scholarship for single moms to go to school? And I was like, I wanted to do this when I was old. Like, I did not know that, you know, it was something I could do now. Yeah. And so we started the Live Your Dream Foundation, and we provide scholarships for single moms that want to gain any kind of education that will increase their earning potential to better provide for their children.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Awesome. Well, you know, and I always, you know, one of the things I talk to my clients a lot about, because they've gone through, you know, hell and back. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I try to teach them is the principle of life happens for you. Yep. You don't really recognize it when you're going through it. Exactly. But think about all that, you know, help you're giving now, but you wouldn't be doing that had you not gone through what you went through. So it happened for you on some level.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So talk a little bit more, like, like how many scholarships have you given out and how long have you been doing this? And give us a little more background on the
For
foundation.
Sure. Yeah. So when we first started the foundation, we were just doing 5Ks, to
Okay.
earn a little bit of money.
Yeah, right, yeah.
We didn't, we were just whatever we could get and give was fun. And so we realized that 5Ks were a little bit saturated here in Utah. It was like the time that everybody was doing 5Ks.
Yeah, sure.
And so we decided, so when we first started, we were just a nonprofit. We weren't a 501c3. My dad, who's the co-founder, was like, let's see, let's see how this goes before we take it to that next step.
Yeah.
Make sure we're all in.
Yeah.
And so after we were doing the 5Ks, one of DK, one of my dad's employees at Paragon Wealth Management came to us and said, what about a raft and run? Nobody does that. Right?
Yeah.
Like a raft down Provo River
Really?
and then run a 5K.
And then go run.
Yeah. And so that was so fun. It was a family friendly type event. But that's just it. It was family friendly, right? So we didn't raise too much money, but I mean, reunions would come,
Wow.
businesses would come and do team building.
Really?
But it was a lot of work because we had to get buses to go,
Yeah, that's a
to
lot.
the top. And I mean, just all the logistics for a volunteer only nonprofit,
Yeah, my
right?
goodness, yeah.
And so we decided to pivot. So we pivoted a few times and one of my board members was like, let's do golf. There are a lot of golf tournaments here in Utah.
Yeah.
But we were able to build up a bunch of businesses that, every year, the past few years we've been selling out.
That's awesome.
The first year we made $10,000, which was amazing.
That is amazing.
And then last year we made $79,000.
Wow.
So it's grown
That's amazing.
substantially.
So cool.
So we've given over 213 scholarships and over $350,000 in scholarships.
Wow.
But the thing is we were like, fundraising is the worst. Like,
Yeah.
It's probably bad that I'm saying this.
Well, it's just tough. I mean, that's it's not the funnest thing to do. Let's be real. Yeah,
It's super
I love it.
tough, right?
Yeah.
And so we were raising money and we were giving it all away, which is always the best to give money away.
Absolutely.
But we decided we wanted to raise money for an endowment fund as well. So we're getting close to $500,000 in that fund because we want to be able to provide scholarships for generations.
To keep it going. Yes,
it wasn't
I love
self-sustaining if we were just giving all the money away that we were raising. And so that's been a huge exciting thing for me to be able to know that we can help these families, for a long time.
Yeah.
And our scholarship, recipients can receive it more than once. It doesn't have to just be a one-time thing. But we've also created what's called a Live Your Dream family. And so we have mentoring that happens when you're going to school. And we have activities for the kids. We just barely went to the ice castles.
Oh, did you?
A bunch of family
those are cool.
members. Yeah, we partnered with Best Seat in the House.
Okay.
Here in Utah. If you don't know those guys, they're amazing. But like Thanksgiving Heroes helps us out with Thanksgiving meals. What we found is just partnering with so many of the amazing nonprofits here in Utah together, we can do so much.
That's so cool.
So it's been really cool.
Wow. That just sounds amazing. And I can only imagine, these single moms that get these scholarships. Like you said, you were fortunate to have a lot of family support, and a lot of people don't have that.
Yep. And
to be able to, you now give back to these women who don't have that support, but now you become the support for them.
Exactly. And a lot of them say that it's, the scholarships are amazing, but it's that support that is invaluable. They always say that. They always tell me that, like, that hope that you give us, Kate, like, means the world to them. Yeah. And, there was one of my moms that had been living on the streets as a youth and had gotten married. I mean, just had a rough life, and she came to us and we gave her that hope and belief in her. And she got her degree in 2.5 years too. But now she got Alpine School District Teacher of the Year last year. And I said, wow. We helped you, but now look at how many people you're helping. The pay it forward effect is incredible.
Gosh, that gives me chills.
Right?
Yeah.
So, when I tell donors and just different people that we're helping, we're not just helping this one
Right.
person. Like the likelihood of their kids going to school substantially goes up
way up
when they
Yeah.
see their parents go to
Yeah.
school. And so,
Wow.
so it's incredible.
It's incredible.
It's the best.
Seriously.
So I do philanthropy 100%.
Okay.
It's really been important to me to
Yeah.
in my healing journey,
Sure.
because it's something that me and my husband did together.
Yeah.
We loved serving others.
Yeah.
And so when I'm doing it, I feel like he's a part of what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Well, our mutual friend Amy,
Mm-hmm.
who
Yep.
lined us up here,
Yep.
she couldn't say enough good about you. And like, man, you wait till you meet her. She is the
Amy's
best.
the best.
Yeah,
Shout
she
out
just
Amy.
like, and I can feel this from you. Like, you got a big heart. You're kind. You're nice.
Yep.
And we need more of this out there because so many people need help in so many areas. But it's so neat that you have decided to dedicate your life to this.
Yeah, for sure. Like I always tell people, like, grow through what you go through,
Ooh,
and
I'm gonna write that one down, folks.
I just love that. And with, so many things going on for everyone out in the world. And if we can grow through those things and then learn from what we've gone through,
Yeah.
the things that we go through, like if we can learn from them, like we are so much better from them. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Which ultimately, if that's true, then there's no bad things ultimately.
Yep. Yeah. I always tell people,
That's
I would never wish what I went through
for
on
sure.
anyone.
for sure.
But yeah, you're exactly right.
Because look what you're doing now. And had you not gone through that difficult time, and even as a girl with the eating disorder and things like all that stuff leads up to all the great you're doing in the world.
Exactly.
Your light is shining bright.
Exactly. Exactly. And
I love it.
that's the thing is like, so when I wasn't going to school, after my husband passed away, I was like so excited that my eating disorder didn't come up, because that can be a trigger, right?
Absolutely.
I
Well,
was
yeah.
so excited. And then when I was going to school, I was getting finished. I was remarried, right? Things were good.
Yeah.
And I decided I was going to start having more kids and everything. And at that time, I got off of my antidepressants that I'd been on after my husband passed away. Didn't know.
Wow.
And eating disorder full-fledged in my last semester of college.
Really?
Yeah. Full-fledged. A matter of
Wow.
months, I was at a weight of a gymnast that had passed away. And
Really?
it was really, really, really scary.
Oh my
But
gosh.
luckily, I had those family members that came and that helped me through that. And now I have so many tools to
Yeah.
help me.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And it was so great to be able to have the tools that I've learned in my life, to pick me up and to help
Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. I know that probably wasn't easy to say.
So hard.
Right.
So hard.
Yeah.
Like my eating disorder was always so embarrassing for me. I was so embarrassed because how could I let this happen?
Yeah.
I'm a strong person.
Well, you know what it just tells me, honestly, is you're human.
Yep.
And everyone listening to this, especially those who maybe have an eating disorder, can go, oh, it's so refreshing that someone's willing to talk about it.
Yep.
Because again, we're all going through something.
Yep.
We all have something we're dealing with. And that's why I did this podcast, honestly, is for people to get vulnerable because we need to hear this.
Yep.
So we can be inspired to go, you know what? If she is getting through this, so can I.
Absolutely.
And maybe I'll even reach out to her and talk to her. And that's what I'm
for sure.
hoping, and that
Yeah,
kind
it's
of thing.
always been my little thing that I've been so, embarrassed about. And and I want people to know that, you know what, like you're good just the way you are.
Yeah.
But, grow through, like I said, grow
I
through those
love
things.
that. Grow through what you go through.
Grow through what you go through, man.
Well, so if there's someone listening to your voice right now and you just gave some advice, I know you just did this, but like that one person who's in the darkness right now and doesn't think they can make it, or they feel less than, or I'll never get past this eating disorder, whatever it may be, that one person that's hearing your voice right now, what would you tell them right now?
I would tell them that they're enough. And there's so many people out there that love and care about them. And that it seems hard right now, but I promise tomorrow is going to be better. You know, like if you can have that belief that tomorrow is going to be better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
And like.
And you're proof of that, because
Absolutely.
you know what that feels like to think, how can I even smile?
Yeah.
Or laugh?
Yeah, totally.
But you got there.
Exactly. And then for me now, like coming out the other side, like truly living each day like it's your last, like, right? Like being kind, you know, saying hi, meeting people where they're at, knowing that we don't know what people are going through.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we have no idea.
These things that I'm sharing today, super hard. I told you, I've always said no to podcasts.
I know.
Because, you know, it's hard for me to open up. I'm a private person. But if I can help someone, like, I would do it 100 times over, right?
Yeah, can you imagine walking out onto a stage and sharing your story in front of 400,000 people?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing right now.
Right. Don't tell me that.
I know, but that's the beauty. And I can't tell you how honored I am that you were willing to come on here. Because again, I had no idea that you've never been on them, or you know, I just saw you're on TV everywhere, but I know you're mainly talking about your foundation and things like that.
Absolutely.
And I know we got into some personal things, and I just can't thank you enough. And I know that your story is needed to be heard today. I really do believe that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just so grateful for you and your story and you inspiring people. And like I told you, Todd, like you are changing lives. Like you are like, I just barely met you, but like I can feel like I'm.
Yeah. Thanks.
I can feel people's, you know, like. Yeah. Like energy, right?
Yeah, right.
And you've got some great energy here.
Thank you.
And you should be super proud of what you've built because you're helping a lot of people.
Well, like I said, life happens for me.
Yeah.
I took a drink at 11 years old, and that drink led to me talking to you today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing.
How sweet.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy, but thank you. And I feel the same about you. You got a good vibe, a good energy, a good spirit.
Yeah.
You shine bright. You don't look 40. So that's definitely a compliment. Well, you're amazing. If someone wants to reach out to you and maybe even ask you a question about this podcast, or if they want to know more about the foundation and how they could donate and, you know, get involved and maybe be a sponsor and that kind of thing, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so it's liveyourdreamfoundation.org is our website.
Okay.
We even have an app, a Live Your Dream Foundation app.
Right on.
Apps Tango, shout out Apps Tango, but they donated the app for us and developed it.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, I love it.
So Live Your Dream Foundation, it's a free app in the App Store. We've got a whole resource center for single moms there.
Whoa.
Where,
that's cool.
you know, any kind of support that they need that we can't provide for them is there.
Very cool.
And then Katie at liveyourdreamfoundation.org as well. That's KATIE at liveyourdreamfoundation.org. But yeah, email me if you have any questions or want to collab or anything like that.
Yeah, I love it. And I'll put that in the show notes and the link so they can just link right to it. So
okay, yeah, and we give scholarships twice a year.
Yeah.
And so the upcoming deadline for fall semester is April 10th.
Yeah. So I've always been one, like, God, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but like when I wanted to change lives and make a difference in people's lives, I'll never forget my mentor said, you know what's going to be the hardest thing for you to do if that's what you want to do? I'm like, what? And he goes, practice what you preach.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I knew it logically, but as I went on, I was like, oh, I'm telling these people to do something that I'm not doing. And I thought, no, I got to live up to that.
Exactly.
So here's why I'm saying this, folks. I'm going to challenge everyone listening to this to make a donation to the Live Your Dream Foundation. And you go to the liveyourdreamfoundation.org and make a donation. It's really simple. And I would never tell you guys to do something that I don't do. Well, I did.
You did
before
today.
You got here today, a donation to that foundation. So
yeah, and 100% goes to the cause.
Which
like
is,
I said, I live my life in as a philanthropist, so we're able to do that, and I've got awesome volunteers that help me
100%.
Make it happen. So 100%.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, I did it, and I'm going to challenge you guys. If it's $1, or if it's 100, or if it's 1,000, whatever you can do, support this amazing thing. And boy, the more we can help these single moms have a chance to get an education and to better themselves.
Absolutely.
It's only, like you said, the ripple effect is
and
enormous.
that's the thing is, like, you know, you think of like every challenge in life, like whether it be, special needs, disabilities, suicide, refugee. Like we help, like single moms are in all of these groups.
All of them, exactly.
Right? Autism, like all of these groups have single moms, and all of them, we're helping all of these different families, so that they can, live their dreams, and that they can, do the things that they need to do to live, right? 40% of single moms are in poverty.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
38 and 40%.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Again, this is why this is so needed.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And now you are the doorkeeper to that, so to speak, and because of what you went through. So
because all moms and dads want to be able to take care of their kids, right?
Absolutely.
Like that's just something
that's
that we
natural.
all want, right?
Yeah. Well, man, you're amazing. Thank you for coming on my show. First time on a podcast. I feel even more honored. But you got really vulnerable today. Thank you for the vulnerability. That is so refreshing.
Yep.
Thanks for being a help to the single moms. And I don't know what to say. You're an amazing person, and I'm glad we have you in our world.
Well, thank you so much. You right back at you, like really and truly.
Thank you.
If you don't know Todd, listen to all of his podcasts.
Oh, thank you.
Because he's incredible.
Thank you so much. And so, please reach out to Katie Bunnell. She's amazing. You guys are amazing for tuning in week after week. Share this with anyone you know. If you even have connections to businesses and stuff that can donate, give them a link to this podcast so they can listen to Katie's story and be inspired to help. But thank you guys for believing in me, and I love you more than you know. I'd like to thank our sponsors. We've got some amazing sponsors. I love you. I hope you know how much I appreciate what you guys do for me in this podcast. And so one last thank you, Katie. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks a million.
All right. Till next time, everyone. Love you guys.